Number 10. Killjoy. Killjoy franchise.
Honeys, I'm home.
Like all great movie clowns, Killjoy's charm comes from his not taking himself too seriously.
And it looks like it's fight time!
Almost equal parts comedy and horror, this franchise has somehow churned out numerous films featuring the same character, with each installment basically telling the same story. Killjoy is a demonically possessed doll come to life by black magic, whose goal is to seek revenge on whoever wronged its owner. The scariest part? Killjoy has a knack for taking things too far. And you might even say he takes a little too much joy in killing, in case that part was at all unclear from the title.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
There have been several of these movies since 2000, which just goes to show you can't kill an already dead premise. Number 9. The Clowns. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Cheesy? Yes. Over the top? Yes. Does it still scare the pants off us? You better believe it. It's been over 30 years since this piece of cinematic high art graced theaters, and it's still hard to look away from. There's just something about alien clowns wreaking havoc on the world in a low-budget movie that makes for compelling viewing.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?
Sure, the makeup and campy effects certainly leave something to be desired, but honestly, that all just adds to the overall creep factor. Cheesy or not, these alien clowns didn't just invade Earth. They got deep into our psyches where, let's face it, they're still doing damage. Number 8. Binky Shakes the Clown. Apparently, by the early 90s, film audiences were bored with run-of-the-mill devious clowns. So one filmmaker added a twist, a devious clown with a drug problem. Then he gave the clown his own weirdly entertaining variety show, and the rest is history.
It's time for games, laughs, and cartoon fun.
Of all the clowns in this dark comedy, Binky is definitely the one who will leave you sleeping with one eye open. Binky sings, dances, and, has a way with children? What more can we ask from a scary clown?
What about my needs as a thirsty and horny clown?
Fun fact, the actor playing Binky is Tom Kenny, the same guy who voices SpongeBob SquarePants. We'll never look at the sponge the same way again. Number 7. Zombie Clown, Zombieland. This movie may be more comedy than horror, but as soon as clowns are involved, all bets are basically off.
But the thing I fear more than anything, yes, even more than zombies, clowns.
Sure, the zombie clown doesn't get much screen time, but let's be honest with ourselves. What's scarier than hiding out in a carnival during a zombie apocalypse only to find out there are zombie clowns around?
Oh my god. Look at this fucking clown.
A zombie is bad, a clown is worse. But a zombie clown? That's a world we don't even want to imagine. What's next? Vampire clowns? Shark clowns? We can keep going, but we'd prefer not to give up our billion-dollar film franchise ideas to Hollywood. In fact, scratch that last part about shark clowns. That one's ours.
This clown.
Number 6. Kent McCoy, Clown. Here's an interesting take on the whole scary clown trope. What if the so-called villainous clown was actually a normal guy who gets turned into a demonic clown when he puts on a costume? That's precisely the setup in 2014's Clown, and it's a pretty darn scary one. Kent McCoy is no different than any of us, really, until his clown costume refuses to come off. And we sympathize, sort of. Wearing that kind of outfit and that amount of makeup day in and day out would drive any sane person bonkers. Number 5. The Joker, The Dark Knight.
thought my jokes were bad.
The Joker isn't your typical clown. This incarnation of the character doesn't juggle or even attempts to make a balloon animal. Although, in fairness, Joaquin's Joker did attempt to entertain sick kids at a hospital.
If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet.
No, this clown is in a league of his own, and his terror comes primarily from his diabolical genius.
See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
A worthy foe to Batman and a testament to the depraved soul who just wants to watch the world burn. The Joker scares us because, despite the makeup and the antics, he's a character we believe could exist, and that frightens the crap out of us.
I'm a man of my word.
Number 4. Captain Spalding, House of a Thousand Corpses. In some universes, it probably takes more than some ultra-creepy face paint to constitute an actual clown, but for this list, scary makeup is enough, and few film characters in recent memory have a scarier overall effect than Captain Spalding from Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. Not to mention its sequels, The Devil's Rejects and 3 from Hell.
Damn it. Don't you never turn your back on a f***ing clown when he's talking to you.
Spalding is big, boozy, and bad. The overall depravity and sense of dread in the Firefly trilogy are largely owed to his ominous, morally erratic presence.
What's the matter, kid? Don't you like clowns?
Don't get us wrong, there are no real good characters in these films, as their titles would probably suggest. But in terms of pure sadistic evil, Captain Spalding takes the birthday cake.
I'll tell you what, Ski King. Why don't you just take your mama home some chicken, and then I won't have to stuff my boot all up in your ass.
I don't like chicken, and I hate clowns.
Number 3. Art the Clown, Terrifier. Okay, so a clown on the prowl isn't the most original premise, but hey, if you're going to cheap out on storyline, the least you could do is go heavy on the gore. And boy, does this movie do just that. We follow Art the Clown, basically an amalgam of the scariest clowns that came before him, who essentially hunts down women in an old, decrepit apartment building on Halloween night. But if you thought this was just another lazy paint-by-number slasher flick, you're dead wrong. In fact, you're downright clowning. Art is, aptly enough, terrifying. From his menacing smile to his porcelain doll outfit, he certainly earns his spot on this list.
Oh my god, you're never gonna believe what I just heard on the radio.
Number 2. Poltergeist Clown, Poltergeist. Let's acknowledge for a moment that this hit from the early 80s combined one of the horror genre's most successful directors, Tobe Hooper, with Hollywood's most accomplished visionary in Steven Spielberg.
They're here.
Honestly, how could it not succeed? And a big part of the film's winning formula comes from its ability to scare people, especially children, on a deep and visceral level.
What's happening?
We thought zombie clowns were scary, but toy clowns that watch us as we sleep? Kids just didn't stand a chance after this one. There is something so eerie about a smiling toy clown sitting in the corner of a bedroom that it makes us wonder whether the movie spawned the stereotype, or whether scary toy clowns have always haunted us on a subconscious level. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Violator, Spawn. For those who like their clowns especially disgusting and belligerent.
Oops! A wet one. I hope I didn't stain my underwear.
Jack in the Box, Krampus. Because what better way to scare kids than to combine toys with clowns? Head Clown. The house is October built, because who hasn't driven across country in search of the scariest haunted house? He who gets slapped, for those classic clown lovers. Stitches, because even low-budget indie clowns are terrifying. Number 1, Pennywise, It franchise. Was there ever any doubt who would show up at the top of this list? Whether he's played by Tim Curry or Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise is like the acme of the scary clown.
I'm every nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
Seriously, the character is literally the embodiment of children's fears. And even with the ability to shapeshift into just about anything, its scariest form is undoubtedly Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Although the newer films relied a little too heavily on CGI, there is something so menacing and visceral about a clown who lures children down to the sewers to feast upon their fear.
Hiya, Georgie. What a nice boat.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.